aśnāmi prayatātmanaḥ.
patraṁ puṣpaṁ phalaṁ toyaṁ yo me bhaktyā prayacchati tadahaṁ bhakty-upahṛtam aśnāmi prayatātmanaḥ.
patraṁ puṣpaṁ phalaṁ toyaṁ yo me bhaktyā prayacchati tadahaṁ bhakty-upahṛtam aśnāmi prayatātmanaḥ. patraṁ puṣpaṁ phalaṁ toyaṁ yo me bhaktyā prayacchati tadahaṁ bhakty-upahṛtam aśnāmi prayatātmanaḥ.
So translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
For the intelligent person, it is essential to be in Krishna consciousness, engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, in order to achieve a permanent, blissful abode for the eternal happiness. The process of achieving such a marvelous result is very easy and can be attempted even by the poorest of the poor without any kind of qualification. So we won't read the whole purport because it's a long purport. So we will chant the prayers before we can speak. So if you have Bhagwat Gita, it's on the first page. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta-padakamam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Anuragam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamritamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarushrasya Kripa Sindhuvaeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna everybody. Welcome to you again. So this is a very important verse of Bhagwat Gita, and bhakti word is used twice in this verse. So what Krishna is saying, patraṁ puṣpaṁ phalaṁ toyaṁ yo me bhaktyā prayacchati tadahaṁ bhakty-upahṛtam. So he's used the word bhakti twice. And why it is so important, right? Because yes, Krishna says you can offer me a fruit, a flower, a leaf and water. But say if I invite you, any one of you for lunch, right? And very nice preparations I make. and I just keep it. Or even any wife cooks for her husband and she keeps it and she says, here you go, pig, eat it. Will the person eat? They will not accept it, right? Because it is, you have to, they're accepting the love and devotion with how you're giving. The same with Krishna. He's not going to just take anything that you offer to him. So the word bhakti is extremely important in this verse, right? Because Krishna is Bhavya-grabhi Janardhana, right? And in this, the story of Vidura comes to my mind. So we all know who was Vidura? We know, right? Okay. So Vidura, he was one of the king's men, and so when Krishna visits Hastinapur, there is Duryodhana, right? Duryodhana has prepared a very nice chappan bhoga for Krishna, and he says, he invites Krishna, but Krishna doesn't eat there. So Krishna goes to Vidura's house because Vidura is a bhakta. And then when he goes to Vidura's house, his wife is so overwhelmed, right? She sees Krishna and she's like, what can I do for him? So she goes and she pulls out a mat, and the mat she keeps it ulta, and she makes Krishna sit there. And then she goes and nothing is prepared. He comes unannounced, so she doesn't know he's going to come. So there are bananas in the house. So she goes and takes those bananas and she peels off the banana. She throws the banana and goes and gives Krishna the peel of the banana. And Krishna is enjoying it. He's very nicely enjoying the peel. And Vidura comes. And Vidura is like, what are you doing? You're giving Krishna the peel, so she starts showing to Krishna, because of you, you came and like she's saying that to Krishna. And then Vidura gives Krishna the bananas. And Krishna is eating them, and Krishna is saying they're not tasting as good as the peel, I like to eat the peel of the banana. So that's what Krishna is, he is a god of love. You cannot, we go like, I have studied, I love Vastu Shastra and whatever. So, I was so curious, so I learned Vastu Shastra. And anything that you do in occult science is all about, okay, you please this graha, this devta, you give something, itna jaake donate karo, itna jaake bhagwan ko, do something for them. But Krishna doesn't want anything. It doesn't matter if, what you're giving, it's what is your bhava. That's what Krishna is taking. He's taking that love that you're giving. Right? And outside of Vidura, we also have stories of Shabri. We all know that Shabri was waiting for him for some 12,000 years, that Ram will come. And every day, we only know that Ram goes to Shabri and he eats those, she has half eaten the berry, right? What are they called in English? Berries. So berries, so the half-eaten berries she gives to Ram, and Ram enjoys them, right? Even we will feel sometimes if somebody eat half, like how can I eat? But Ram eats them. And then in Ayodhya, when they're serving Ram, so Ram is saying that, yeah, this is very delicious, but not like Shabri's berry, So that's how Ram wants it. There is also a story of Sudama. See, I'm a Maharashtrian, so I love poha. Anytime you give me, I will eat poha. But he eats that chipped rice, that Sudama has got. I'm sure they're not hot and fresh pohas, but he's traveled for so many days to see him. But Krishna takes that, right? So and not only Krishna, like all of his queens are fighting for that poha. Give me a little bit poha, give me a little bit poha. So you cannot please Krishna with a lot of scholarship. I cannot come here and I can say some fancy verses and I can impress you, but I cannot impress Krishna, right? For me to be here and speaking, it should be my bhava to Krishna, that okay, I am service, this is my service, I'm doing it for Krishna. So that is important. That is what Krishna will take. Krishna will take service. Krishna will take our bhava, right? So that is very important. And very important thing that in this verse, Prabhupada says is that poorest of poor can do it, right? And in this contest, I was thinking, I met a friend the other day, and we had Vaikuntha Ekadashi, right, last week. So she was telling me my aunt passed away on Vaikuntha Ekadashi. And I was like, okay, very nice, because it is said that if you die on Vaikuntha Ekadashi, then you go back to Vaikuntha. The doors of Vaikuntha are open for anyone who dies that day. So I was thinking, she must have done a lot of austerity. So she was telling, but I'll tell you, Gitanjali, she did not do anything. She had some financial issues, she had a very troublesome life. And she used to always, she used to take Krishna's name, but Bhagwan ne ye kiya, ye bhi nahi diya. She was always complaining, kind of not very, she never went to the temple as much or whatever. And I was like, how is it possible? I see devotees, so much they are serving, so much austerities they're doing. How did this lady die? Then she started, I was waiting, and then she said, you know what, but in her youth life, she was very poverty stricken, and she would pluck flowers from her garden and make garlands and sell them. And people would take those garlands and they will go to the Vishnu temple, right? So Krishna doesn't forget. So she has done that service. She has made those garlands, and they were offered to Vishnu. And after so many years, whatever, she dies on Vaikuntha Ekadashi, right? So Krishna doesn't forget. Whatever service, little service you do for Krishna, Krishna doesn't forget. I thought that was so profound, that just doing that. And we all know about the famous story about a Brahmana. So he's very poor. He has no ingredients or nothing to serve Krishna. But he always wants to make kheer for Krishna. So what he does is, he just closes his eyes, and this is all in imagination, right? He's not physically doing anything. So in imagination, he's saying, okay, now I'm making kheer. So he starts boiling the milk, he puts rice in it, he's cooking it, and he's offering. And he's doing it for years. And one day, he's like, oh, I don't know if the kheer is properly cooked or whatever. And he puts his finger in the kheer, and his finger burns. Now this is mentally he's offering. So Krishna is sitting in Vaikuntha, Vishnu is sitting in Vaikuntha, and he starts laughing as soon as his finger burns. And Rukmini was like, why did you suddenly start laughing? And so he tells them about this devotee, how mentally he's been offering to Krishna, and Krishna is accepting it. And so Rukmini says, why don't we call him to Vaikuntha? And then he goes back to Vaikuntha. So really it's not that, I have to make a very diamond ka necklace and give it to Krishna. Of course, Madhupati Prabhu is here, and he will want us to donate as much as we can. But it is good if you do that. If you have the capacity, do it. Like you cannot be making 300K and giving $20 donation or $1,000, right? You should be matching what you make. But doesn't matter how much you. Krishna is not looking at what you're donating. It matters on your bhava, right? That's what Krishna is looking at. So, and also scholarship, I said, it doesn't matter if you're poor, you're rich. He's just accepting your bhava. Now, you may ask that, does actually Krishna eat? I can prepare nice food and everything. So what do you think? Krishna does actually eat? Because the food just comes back, right? Even at home when you prepare bhoga, the food comes back. So what happens? Does Krishna eat? Yes, right? He takes it, he accepts it. And when you taste prasadam, you feel that. Because Krishna can do anything, right? With his eyes, like he can create impregnant material energy and create all of us. So just by looking at the food, he can eat. When you chant the mantra, right? For him, that is also equal to eating. Hearing is equal to eating. So Krishna accepts. So whenever people challenge that, oh, but Bhagwan to khate nahi hai, in India there's a concept like, oh, Krishna smells. Like, what do you mean smell? He actually eats the food, right? So that is very important. And also, can you offer anything to Krishna? Or are there any specific things that we can offer? Sattvic food, but also in the verse he says, you can offer me flower, leaf, water, right? So there are very specific things he's telling you what to offer. So you cannot offer eggs and meat and whatever you want, right? There is this misconception outside that whatever I make with devotion I can offer. But Krishna doesn't accept it. Yeah. And then also I was thinking that if a person has so many things, right? What will you give them? Like Lakshmi herself, she is serving him. And I was, you talk to anybody, they're always wanting Lakshmi to come in my house. Do this puja, Lakshmi will come, do this so I can get more money. Everybody's running and everybody wants that. But that Lakshmi is already sitting with him and serving him, right? So what can you give him? You cannot give him anything. Or even if you think you all work in a company, if you have to develop a relationship with your CEO, CIO, how do you do it? you get qualified, right? You get to you do some posts, you do some projects to get connected to him. But to get to that, you start with some basics, right? You start with some basics, and which basics are what Krishna in this verse is telling. Like start offering, patraṁ, puṣpaṁ, phalaṁ, toyaṁ. Outside of that verse today that we spoke about, when we talk about flower offering. So I was talking today's puṣpaṁ day, right? So what happens is in this month, which is the month of January, but in Vrindavan there is a lot of flowers. So all the Brajvasis go and collect these flowers, and they offer flowers to Krishna. And it's also followed on the ISKCON temples. All the devotees pluck the petals, and they all offer. Right? So sometimes we do some offering. Oh, today I dressed up Krishna so nicely. Oh, my garland, Krishna is wearing my garland. We always think like that, right? But when you pluck petals, I was thinking, nobody knows which petal was yours, right? And all of that goes on Krishna. So that's what Pushpabhishek festival is. It's like a community coming together and serving Krishna. So actually, when Indra destroyed Vrindavan, Krishna was not very upset with him. Like if you read only one verse, he gives a Surbi cow, and only one verse he says. Why? Because whatever he did, what that did was it brought all the Brajvasis together. For 7 days and 7 nights, they were standing under the Govardhan hill, and they were just looking at Krishna, right? Everybody was together, just focused on Krishna. So he was not so upset on Indra for that. So the whole idea of Pushpabhishek, of plucking these petals, offering to Krishna, stitching a dress of flower petals for Krishna, is that we all come as a community, which Krishna likes very much, and then we serve Krishna. Right? So that's the whole idea about Pushpabhishek. And then, like I said, I just got few hours by Bhagwat grace. So I could just find this information, right? That's what we can all do today, especially on Pushpabhishek day, to offer to Krishna. And what I was thinking is, as a takeaway for us, right? This verse we have heard so many times. Whoever comes to Krishna consciousness, this is the first verse they heard. Patraṁ, puṣpaṁ, phalaṁ, toyaṁ. Or we have heard about this when we were a child. So I was thinking, how can we go deeper into this verse, right? So the first thing is offer a leaf. How can you offer a leaf? Is you become light. Become light like the leaf. And how can you become light like the leaf? When we travel, we carry a lot of baggage with us, right? But that slows us down. To become light, you have to let go of the baggage. And by baggage, I mean we have these grudges, on people, like, this person has done this to me so many years back. This person was mean to me. This person did bad to me. So when we study this verse, and for us to become light, let's let go. Let it go. There's a famous song, Let It Go. Just let go of those bad things. Anybody has done anything bad for us, forgive them, forget that, what has happened. Then you can become light. The second is become like a flower. Sometimes we clean up before Diwali day. Diwali, that full 2 weeks we are cleaning. And sometimes you find something is rotten somewhere. If you don't take it out, your house is stinking or the pantry is stinking. So like that, in our heart, we also have a lot of envy, we have jealousy, right? So let's let go of that. When we are, it also goes into your body and it fits in the body, that's how diseases happen to people. But basically, to let go of envy and jealousy, we should always think that if somebody has something more than us, right? Somebody might have more wealth, somebody might have more beauty, more talent, more intelligence. Think about that Krishna has given it to them, right? They have served Krishna very nicely sometime, and Krishna's mercy is on them. So actually, by being jealous or envious on these people, on anybody, you're actually disrespecting Krishna. You're not admiring his beauty. If you see something beautiful, you should say, wow, this person is so beautiful. Krishna might be so beautiful. Or this person is so wealthy, has so much talent. Can you imagine what Krishna has? So that will let go of the envy, the jealousy that we may have. And it's a very natural feeling, the 6 enemies that we have, we whole life is struggling. But to become that flower who smells good, like, sometimes you meet some really, really great devotee and how inspired you get from them, right? So you have to become that flower, so you can be offered to Krishna. So let go of that jealousy, that enviousness. And then your fruit, Krishna says offer. So you all work so hard, we all work so hard. So offer the fruit of whatever your hard work is. to Krishna, the result of the hard work to Krishna. And then the water, right? When I was taking the water, it's your cry for Krishna, offer that water. Like I know it's very easy to say, it's easier said than done, but really be so much in love with Krishna that make that offering of that tears that come out of your eyes. So I would like to conclude. To any question, anybody would like to? I mean, I was going to encourage everyone to talk about how can you, the 4 things, any takeaways that I said, become light like a leaf, let go of the past baggages that you have, become a flower by letting go of jealousy, enviousness, becoming, offering the fruit of your results, and then also offering the water, the tear that you have to Krishna. How can you all follow that? Maybe you can put some comment on that or any questions you may have. By chanting more, you can become a light, you mean? Like a leaf? Free from practice. Any comments? Madhuji?
False designations, it's called upadhis. We are all stuck with different upadhis. I'm a mother, I'm a father, I'm a teacher, I'm an engineer, whatever it is. Once we take up this big baggage of false identity, then whatever we offer will be published.
That's right. The designations that Mataji is saying, the designations that we have, right? I'm this, I'm that. If you take that off, then we can be of more service and we can offer that to Krishna. Any other comments?
Motherji, you can share something? That's how you started.
Yeah. So Puṣpaṁ, like I said, we all as a community comes together as one together to offer flower offering to Krishna, right? And like how he was not upset with Indra, even if he caused so much problems. Why? Because all the devotees of Vrindavan, they all came together, right? And they were only admiring Krishna for the whole time. So that's the whole community building thing that we need to do as Puṣpaṁ. That all come together to serve. Not that I'm very talented, I can make very nice garlands, or I can do this service nice or nice, but all come on the same level and we all offer one thing to Krishna.
I have one question, Mataji. One of the points, maybe it could be a useful point of discussion. You said that can we offer anything and everything to Krishna? And Krishna here is saying very specifically that these 4 things is what I accept if you offer me with love. But then we see there are other demigods where different things are offered. Like sometimes we hear that some intoxicants are offered to Bhole Baba. Sometimes somebody will do some animal sacrifice in front of goddess. Then few verses before, Krishna is saying in this chapter only that if you are offering, you are worshipping other demigods, then that also is coming to me, but it's avidipurvaka. So how do we reconcile that? Are these other offerings which Krishna is not mentioning in this particular verse, is that also reaching Krishna, or those who are really, their test buds are towards these things, can they still offer this to?
Krishna is really wanting to verse. Krishna really liked this question. Everybody paying attention. Something fell down in the microphone, I guess.
Is everything all right? Yeah, everything is all right. Because there's a mic.
Okay. Go ahead.
We
Yes.
skip this question?
No. So Prabhu's question is, we, especially all coming from India, we know this, that there are a lot of demigods and there's a lot of offerings are done to the demigods, right? So is Krishna offering, accepting all those offerings that we make? So I'll tell you, Prabhu, I come from a Kshatriya family, and in our even in our culture, they offer goat sacrifice. So I was so against this because there is a Durga temple in Maharashtra. When you go there, the priest over there, I know them, they say that she's a Vaishnavi, right? So Durga doesn't accept, she doesn't even, she does Ekadashi. Goddess is fasting on Ekadashi. So she's doing everything that a Vaishnavas are doing, right? And we know Lord Shiva is the greatest of the Vaishnavas. So he is not accepting all of these items. Also it is said that if you're eating meat, the only way it is allowed is that you kill an animal outside the town on the Amavasya night, which is dark, there is no moon, and you whisper in the ears of that cow or what, not cow even, they actually is the goat. You worship, you say in the ear of the goat that this life I'm killing you, but next life you can be the human and I'll be the goat and you can kill me and eat. So the whole idea was to discourage it, right? Like when you're saying that, you will think like, my God, next life I will become a goat and they will kill me. So I don't want to do this. So it was all discouraged. But to your point, the taste buds of everyone were so active that they wanted to do this. So Krishna doesn't encourage that. And also, even if you do anything for the demigods, it's very temporary. You know, it is for this lifetime, everything, all of the benefits are gone. But with Krishna, like I mentioned to you about this one lady, she was making garlands she didn't even know these are going to Vishnu temple. But they went to Vishnu temple and Krishna accepts them, right? So, and it's life, and the whole problem, not only of financial, physical, any problem, whole problems are gone and she's gone back to Vaikuntha. So Vaikuntha, it's called Vaikuntha because there is no Kunta. There are two main qualities of this material world, Dukkhalayam and Ashashvatam. So Dukkhalayam means it's full of miseries, right? If you talk to anybody, they'll say, oh, we went on vacation, we did this, we did that, they will talk very nice, and the clock is kicking, and they'll say, oh, ye problem hai. Mere bete ka something, there will be a problem in everybody's life. Dukkhalayam and Ashashvatam, nothing is guaranteed. But Vaikuntha there's no kanta, there is no anxiety. People are dancing instead of walking, they are singing instead of talking. So when you're gone to that Vaikuntha planet, all your problems are gone. So when you worship Lord Vishnu directly and just simple worship you do, even mental worship you do, he's accepting it and he'll take you back to God. So demigod worship is temporary and it would not give you results. I know you already know the answer, but you're asking so that I can. Thank you.
So in the Sati Yuga, they were performing in order to test the mantra. They were in the old cow, they asked to the old cow, the new cow will be born. Same soul, the new cow will be born. So that was happening in Sati Yuga. I think in that position there was faster. Any feeling of when those things are not allowed in Kali Yuga.
Yeah, actually, and it was, even when they did this fire sacrifices, right, we read in Shastra that a horse was given as sacrifice. When the horse was given as a sacrifice, they would be born as a human right away. And that's why it was, okay, you could do this. Now our pronunciations are not so right. We're not doing the right thing, so it's definitely not encouraged. And the funny part is we see in society that they kill chickens, they kill cows, but they love so much the dogs, right? Dog is, you cannot say I met a dog mom, and you cannot say anything, like you cannot say dog word to a dog. You have to call them with the name. So that's the funny part outside, like the people don't want children these days, they just want to have dogs. So.
Mataji, I have a question.
Sure.
So what is the difference you think is between chanting and meditation, and what is the best way to reach to your highest self?
And by meditation, do you mean just breathing or?
Meditation.
I'm just asking you, what is the difference between chanting and meditation, and what is the best way to reach to your highest self?
Mataji, can you clarify what is meditation? What do you mean by meditation?
Where you are not having any thoughts.
And were you able to do that? Like not having
I
thoughts?
tried, but I
also said that, there's also word samadhi, like, sit like quietly and no thoughts. So our mind is so chanchal, you continuously think about something all the time. And when you're chanting also, it's not that we are allowed to think about everything, make your to-do list on the side, plan your day, plan your vacation, plan your career, whatever. You're not doing that. You are only listening to the mantra that you're chanting, right? And even if we have a bead, which is there's a physical touch with the bead, right? You have that, you could have deities in front of you, you're listening to your voice, you could have Prabhupada chanting tape. Maybe 3, 4, 6 rounds, you're okay, but after that your mind starts wandering, like here, there, you have to get up, you have to start walking, look at pictures. So even what I feel when you're chanting, it's hard to not have thoughts. So I can't imagine how in meditation we cannot have thoughts. I don't know how long you practice meditation, but with chanting, see Krishna's holy name, right? It says Golokera Premadana Harinam Sankirtan. So these names are not material names. Okay, tomorrow, what's your name, Adri? Shruti. So if I am home and I say Shruti, 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 you don't come, right? Even if or your husband is calling you and you're in India, Shruti, 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 you don't come. But when you say Krishna, 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 and when you chant the holy name, Krishna actually comes and he's on your tongue. Right? That because these are not material names. A lot of religion they say Bhagwan ka to naam hi nahi hai. Naam nahi hai because these are coming from the transcendental realm. So when you chant the Mahamantra, the name Krishna is actually, personal Krishna is coming on your name. So there is Naam Rup, the name of Krishna in the form of his holy name, is already with you, right? So when Krishna comes, right, actual Krishna, all of your, whatever you're looking for, all the bad qualities, whatever, they all go away, right? And you develop this love for Krishna, right? You're intelligent. You can see so many, there are stories about how their lives have been transformed. So by just chanting his holy name, you're getting Krishna, and then you can go back to God. But I don't know the benefits of meditation, like just controlling the thoughts and what would be achieved with that.
Just to add, the chanting is basically the mantra meditation.
Meditation, yeah. Then a lot of people also call it mantra meditation. And that also helps you control your mind. Mantra is the one that delivers your mind, right? So mind is so chanchal, it's hard to, even Arjuna says, I can control the wind, but I cannot control the mind. So we all have this body, and we also have a subtle body, right? Which is mind, body, and intelligence. So that mind will go from you from one life to another life, right? So that's why you will see a lot of people who are born, they'll remember their past memories. Why? Because those sanskaras and all are stored. So how can you go, and your soul is sitting inside that subtle body. So how can you have your soul go back to God and where you came from? Right? We all go with God, we got jealous of Him, envious of Him, and we came here. And the whole purpose of getting this precious human life for you is that you can go back. Right? Imagine you were in a desert and somebody gave you a vehicle to get out of the desert, and you are like, no, wasting time. It's not a good use, right? Not animals, they cannot chant. A lot of creatures cannot chant. But if you're so blessed to be able to chant, you should utilize that blessings that you've got to be able to chant and go back to God. Because that way your subtle body will get purified. Hope that helps. Any other questions?
Why Krishna gave only these 4 like patraṁ, puṣpaṁ, phalaṁ, toyaṁ? Is it because of his naturally available and even the poorest can serve him? Is it that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm also guessing that, because if he says always give me gold necklaces, it will be so hard for us, or diamond necklace. Something Krishna says, right? Like that, whoever offers me gold necklace, then I can come to me. So, and that's why he says in this 2 verse, he says, poorest of the poor, and not even scholars. Like, you don't even need a lot of poetry, you have to compose for him or anything. It's just anybody can do it. Like I mentioned to you the story of the person doing it in the mind. This Vidura, they were not prepared, but he just accepted the chilka. Like Sudama, he was so poverty stricken. He accepted very basic stuff from them. So anybody can offer. even a child can offer, a small child can go and offer a flower. Age, there is no limitation, and they're easily available. Very nice. Any other questions or comments? Yeah.
I just wanted to respond to Mataji's question, something that's kind of dear to me. I came to my spiritual path through quiet meditation. I found that I could control my mind and not think of things. And it was very peaceful. But I came to a point where I asked a question of myself, what next?
Exactly.
If you get to that point where there's nothing, what next? How are you going to share that with people? You come to a place like this, and you look around, how much love is here? The love comes from chanting the holy names. So what I've done is I've used that ability to quiet my mind to help me concentrate on chanting the holy names. And so there is something more than just that emptiness. It's love. That's what we're here for. Bhakti yoga is the yoga of love. And so that's my realization regarding meditation versus japa meditation, is that quiet meditation is just that. It's quiet, it's peaceful. There's nothing beyond that. But in japa meditation, there's love.
Okay, so we will conclude. So really 4 things as a takeaway: offer flower, fruit, water, and a leaf. And like I mentioned, you become so light, let go of any negative feelings, anger, hatred, whatever to everyone, let go, become light like a leaf, become like a flower, let go of your past baggages, become that person who, we didn't come here because we were not chanting in the spiritual world. We came here because we were envious and jealous, and that's a very natural quality. So let go of envy, let go of that competition, that jealousness that you have, and purify yourself, offer the fruit of your actions to Krishna, and also cry for Krishna, really develop that love for Krishna. So 4 takeaways for everyone. Try to make it as simple as I can. So really asking for blessings, and if I made any mistakes, for forgiveness.